Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome to today's episode of Top Deck. We are covering a top 5 Azorius Fable deck by Mythic Matt. So congratulations, Mythic Matt. Traditionally, you'd probably say this is an Azorius Control deck or Azorius Yorion Control. We'll talk about that here in a second, my friends. But we do have a lot to get through. I appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to navigate down below to the timestamps. And if you have questions or comments throughout the video, please feel free to let me know, or feel free to hop in the Discord server. That is down below as well, my friends. So we are going to cover the objective and strategy of this deck. We'll talk about the sideboard for your best of 3 matches. We'll go play some competitive Magic in both best of 1 and best of 3, and then we'll circle back and talk about where this may kind of sit and reside in today's meta, my friends. So with that, before we kick it off here, I just want to say thank you as always. Please feel free to support the channel by subscribing down over there as a small call to action, or feel free to like the video. Other great ways to support the channel down below in the description. Everything is much appreciated, my friends. So let's go ahead and hop into it here as we have this Azorius Fable deck. So really, it's all about this card, Banished in the Fable. I will pause here for a second and walk through the card because many of you may not be familiar with it. It is starting to come back here. Obviously, I've seen Mythic Matt's deck, but I'm beginning to see it in other spots as well. This card is an instant spell cast card. When you cast a spell from your hand, copy it if you control an artifact, then copy it if you control an enchantment. And then you may choose new targets for those copies. Now, you're returning target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. You create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance as well. So a big call out here is this is really, really nice in this particular archetype because it's a traditional kind of Azorius enchantment archetype with lots of board control, lots of clearing, things like that, dig, abilities to play planeswalkers. Now, the key here is you can certainly play things like Skyclave Apparition, Omen of the Sun, Glass Casket, anything else that you have here, and pop it back to your hand. And then that's going to give you the ability to play it again and continue to lock things down. So you never lose the value off the board, which is very, very helpful, very, very impressive. And then you just do a ton of token generation and slowly beat your opponents down. We do have a Faceless Haven as a backup as well in here. And then we got other abilities to go find things. You could certainly add in another castle to do some token generation if you wanted. So in terms of the strategy and objective of this deck, my friends, it's really about locking things in, slowly building the board, protecting the board, and then taking over and doing a lot of that chip damage, as we mentioned. We have the ability to use things like Nico Eris here to create those shard tokens, and then also do a bunch of their fun planeswalker things where the +1 here is up to 1 target creature we control can't be blocked this turn. Additionally, whenever that creature deals damage this turn, return to its owner's hand. So a way to hit in with Skyclave Apparition, bounce it back, again, is another idea. Nico Eris control deals 2 damage to target tapped creature for each card that we've drawn this turn, and then we can always create a shard token as well, my friends. So when Nico enters, we get to create X shard tokens, and then shard tokens are sacrifice this enchantment, scry 1, then draw a card as well. So that should partner well with Archon of Sun's Grace and trigger Constellation and so forth. So I do want to call that out, my friends. Now, the other big thing here is Doomscar. Again, a nice pickup from Kaldheim here. One of the first times now that we're starting to see this card played more. It had a lot of hype. I've been saying in the Discord server, I've been waiting for this deck, particularly something like this. So I'm super jacked to cover it today because the meta's been ripe for Azorius or some sort of like more traditional control deck, in my opinion, and that's what Doomscar sets up really nicely with white here. And it was certainly, as I've heard and discussed, not only in the Discord but in other areas too, a hyped card that we haven't seen played a ton, and now we're seeing it, my friends. So a huge powerhouse, despite what a lot of people may think or forget when it comes to aggro decks. So that is the strategy objective of this deck, really lock things in. You got lots of ability to kind of have a little bit more of never-ending value, as I like to say here. And then you're certainly doing a lot of chip damage and locking things in, my friends. So then that sets us up well and nicely here for our sideboard, because that's going to be pretty important as we continue to go on here, and take on our best of 3 matches. And I'll break that up into an aggro, mid-range, and a late game battle here, my friends, in terms of how we want to board. For aggro, in particular, just a quick call out here for cycle decks as well as rogue decks. You are going to play these a little bit differently. I'd flip in the Soul Guide. I would also consider flipping in the Glimpse of Freedom here. Other things that might help and provide value. I like Sigrid as well. The Mystical Disputes are good for you. And then Shark Typhoons aren't going to hurt as well in that space. And then what I would probably flip out is things where you may not get as much value or you may not need as much. Midnight Clock's okay to keep in there. You want to keep some of your counters. I still like some of the top end things here, but you may want to consider actually going a little bit less on things like a Dream Trawler. Doomscar is still going to help you on that board. You could consider dropping things like Birth of Meletis. The Lifegain's nice, but those are some considerations as well. Mazemind Tomb's nice for that thinning. You could go a little bit lighter in that space as well, and certainly move in enough. And then you could always go less in the Banish into Fable if you wanted to as well, my friends. So lots of cool things to do, lots of cool things to play in that one. And then when we play more of that traditional aggro deck, I would consider Omen of the Sun, Sigrid, God Favored, Archon of Absolution for sure, potentially a Baneslayer as well, to kind of move things up into the stack. What would I look to move out? In particular, Elspeth Conquers Death might not give you as much value in that space, so that's something certainly worth moving. Again, going a little bit lighter on the Banish into Fable. You could go 2 there, that gives you 5. You're going to want to pull that curve down to match, and then obviously continue to wipe the board and manage that way as well, my friends. Then when we move into the mid-range battles, again, similar to the aggro deck, more creature-based decks. So in terms of aggro, these are things like mono red, mono white, aggro, also Boros aggro. You could consider some of the Lifegain decks. The Naya Adventures starts to bridge that gap in that mid-range. Same with Gruul, aggro and Adventures, as well as some of the other some of the other good old Boros, now I'm blanking on the Scald's decks, begin to bridge that gap as well. You could think of the Izzet Tempo decks there in that space, and then we begin to look at some of these other kind of sacrifice decks, Jund and Rakdos, and then additionally anything like your traditional Rakdos mid-range, things that have more spells versus kind of the creature-based decks. So in terms of those, you know, the more creature-based decks will similar matchup and lineup. If they are playing graveyard stuff, you're going to want to go a Soul Guide Lantern. Outside that, we're going to want to start to think about things like Disdainful Stroke. A Null, if they are playing enchantments or artifacts, could be one to consider. Mystical Dispute as well. I always like Shark Typhoon as a hard cast if you need to, as well, to continue to provide value. So lots of considerations in that space. Then what I would do is I'd look to move out things like Glass Casket, where you might not get the value that you needed. It does work well though with Skyclave. If you bounce Skyclave and drop the Glass Casket on whatever it was that you exiled. So those are some thoughts. Skyclave might not hit as much either, so that could be a consideration. And you're moving more towards a ramp full control. Also, Doomscar's a decent one to look at if they aren't playing a lot of creatures as well, but that's always a good safety net to kind of reset the board. Then, and obviously Elspeth is a good one to consider. Then last but not least, we got these late game decks. These could be things like the Sultai control decks. These could be things like the Sultai Ultimatum deck or Emergent, also Temur Ultimatum or Temur Turns. We also have the deck that I just covered by Gabriel Nassif, the Abzan control deck, and then other sorts of Esper or Doom decks in there, as well as flavors. There again, we would continue to look at things like a Null, anything that might have potential to bring graveyard stuff back. Disdainful Stroke. I like Glimpse of Freedom as well at the top end for providing value to continue to look. Omen of the Sun isn't bad to get some creatures on the board. Mystical Dispute's good. and then potentially a Shark Typhoon there too, my friends. And then what I'd look to move out is similar style like we talked about, Glass Casket, Doomscar potentially, maybe even one or two, maybe one Banish. It's good to get some of that value back, or Skyclave Apparition as well. And then you could always look at Elspeth Conquers Death, like I said. So that, my friends, is the aggro, the mid-range, and the late game lineup. I'm super excited to play this Azorius Fable deck or Azorius Control deck by Mythic Matt here today. So let's go ahead and dive into it and play some competitive matches. But before we do so, let's go ahead here. I will save my changes. We'll save and exit. I don't think I changed anything. We'll see where we're at here on the DK list. We're at 543. So I think we're 5 days in, maybe now, 5 or 6 days in since hitting the rank. And we've lost about 500 slots. So going at about a pace of 100 slots a day right now. So right on target what we're thinking. Looking forward to getting back, but I want to see how long it takes, because it's certainly an interesting case study here for us with Magic. So with that, let's go ahead. We did our checkup on it. Let's go ahead and play some Magic here. So we will go play today. Again, there's that Azorius Yorion deck by Gabriel Nassa, if you guys can check out. But we're playing the Azorius Fable deck here by Mythic Matt. So here's what we got going on. We will play our best of 1, then we'll go play our best of 3. Very excited, like I said, if you couldn't tell already, because I've been waiting for Doomscar, and I hopefully will get the opportunity to cast it. Here we got Thraben Inspector. Perfect. So we do get an opportunity. So we'll keep this, and we go first. So we'll go this one first. Now, as we get started here, Planeswalkers, as always, appreciate your support. A nice call to action by subscribing down over there. Additionally, you guys can like the video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this, my friends. I'm actually going to take this guy off now. So I will do this. We need some land, so let's go ahead and look. It's okay, I'll keep that. So this is a mono blue control deck. So we got matched with control against control. This one's gonna have more on us, I think, than we're gonna be ready for here. But we'll find out. I'll keep that one there. I'll pull it. We'll speed things up just a little bit. And we had no counters, so I was okay doing that. I could move Doomscar over, but the reality is we're not going to be able to hit much, which will become a challenge for us. Now it's certainly going to look like Jeskai. Oh, do I do that? Let's look. There we go. 3 and 3. We'll get rid of this guy first. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can bait him. No baiting. We'll see if we can do this. Yeah, we'll keep one open just in case. I'm assuming they have a counter, though. We'll give Nico a shot. Could have left two open, I guess. Yeah, there they go. Oh, we should have left two open. Oh, that's all right. Let's take a look here. We'll keep that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we can cast that, we'll be good. I would assume two counters. Ooh, they're still gonna hit the counter though. Oh, this is not the deck we wanted to play, by the way. Not the deck we wanted to play. Just too much beat down here. Ooh, all right. So they can deal 11 here, and we can't do anything. Oh, they kept the faceless back. Ah, save lethal. There you go. there you have it, my friends. An Azorius deck losing to a mono blue snow deck. Not surprised, to be honest, because there's just way more counter there. So not a bad lineup nonetheless. All right, let's go into our next best of one match here with this deck. Hopefully we didn't get a chance to cast Doomscar. We saw Nico. We didn't get a chance to get it to land. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to see Fabled here as well. So we do got a few things. We'll try this. Let's see what our opponent's got. It could be a cycle deck. Could be a lot of things. Play this one first. Definitely going to be a rogues deck. There it is. So we'll have to do this on upkeep so we can look. Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal here. Let's look. All right, we'll go all the way through. That's all I was worried about, was their counter. And now they have enough. Let's see what we can hit. If this doesn't stick, we're dead. And they should have a counter. Yeah. All right, good game. We tried. Wow. Look at that. 3 rogues. 3 of them. That was like one of the best draws that you could have. Poof. And they had enough to counter us. So let's go ahead and do our next best of one here. Not connecting, unfortunately. Not connecting. And yes, this was primarily a best of 3 deck, my friends. So Crunksicle it is. All right, we'll try this. Well, look. Let's see if we can get there. I'll keep that for now. All right, Lifegain deck. Let's see what we do. I'll take him. Now, here's the match that we wanted. Maybe. We'll see. Boom! There we go. Taking everything off the board. Now we didn't get to our cards that we wanted, but that's fine. We had a better setup against that one. So let's go ahead into our best of 3 match, my friends, and see if we can get some opportunities to play some of these other cards here. Traditional standard play. There we go. Yes. All right. Again, there's that Abzan control deck, like we said yesterday. Gabriel Nassif's. We've done the top 100 Jeskai Pyromancer cycling deck. You guys can check out a lot of other great things here, my friends. So let's go ahead here with our Azorius Fable deck. All right, so for best of 3, for those of you joining now, quick recap. We talked about strategy objective with this deck, being a Azorius control deck at its root, trying to lock down early game counter, 2-for-1 with cards or multiple cards with Doomscar there. Additionally, my friends, we ended up going 1 and 2. Finally, we get to see this guy and we get to see this, so I will keep this. And we're first. Okay. We didn't do well against other kind of control based cards. I will keep that just in case. Didn't do as well with other control base. More of a tempo deck play could be a problem here. Here we go. We got a mono red, so this will be a nice match for us. We will do this, and then I will go thin. And we'll go from there. But as always, Planeswalkers, I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. All a nice little call to action there for us. All right. So we can do a few things here. We're going to do this. And then I will... Ooh, I can do this and then drop Arkin though too. Then we can wipe and drop Arkin. I think that's going to be better play for us here. We can hard cast too. Let's just hard cast it. This one over. Play our buddy here. Uh-oh. So here we get to see this finally. I could cast that. I'm gonna cast this though. All right, we're good. Wasn't worried there. We had Banish into Fable, but we didn't need to play it. So that's a better lineup for us there. So what we're going to do here is we go Omen of the Sun. We can use this. Arkan, Baneslayer. I don't mind Shark Typhoon either. These are okay. We don't need Elspeth as much. Trawler's nice, obviously, if we get there. Let's see. I saw it coming helps. How many lands? We had a lot of lands. Go 2 off that. Glass caskets we still want. The Midnight Clock worked fine. 2 cards. Let's go 1 of those. And then 1 Nico. All right. Let's try that, my friends. So we had the card in our hand. We never got to cast it. Certainly late game type situations, you're going to be able to play it. So now I could have cast it just to show you guys and bounced all their stuff, but then they would have got their giant back. So let's see what we hit here. I will keep this. This might not be fast enough though. All right, there we go. I'll keep that for now. Oh, that's kind of what I was thinking, so that's okay. There we go. They're still only hitting the shark for now. Not gonna block here though. Enchantments. All right, let's see if we can turn it around. Good thing we waited. Oh, what do we need? I think we need that. Well, they could drill me for 2. But we'll take the risk. Whew, still in it. Still in it. If they block here, it's going to cost them a lot to still bring it back. It's going to be close here. I think I got enough. Ooh. Boom, there we go. Ooh, nice, nice play. So we didn't get to see Fabled yet. Let me try and play one more best of 3 here real quick, and we'll see if we can pull that off, my friends. So I do want to see if we can get you to see that. So let's go to the traditional play here, and we'll go from there. Ooh. Not bad. Works good against aggro decks. Ferenchi. Alright, we'll play first. Did not hit it, but I'll keep this. Oh, there we go. I'm okay with that for now. Do that. Let's go thin. Dun dun dun. Oh, blue. Ferenchi. Let's see what you got, my friend. There you go. Tempo. That's going to be a tough match for us. This will be hard. Tempo is not really what we want to be playing. Let's do this now. So we can get a bunch of chip damage in. Then next time we can go Omen and Doomscar. But we need to try the Fable. And this is going to be a tough one to get it to work against. No, no. All right. We're going to have to play some counter magic now. 1, 2. Throw that in there. Throw those. These. I don't mind the omens. What do we want to drop? Drop the Skyclaves. Doomscar is not going to be as good. That's not as good either. We'll keep one. Keep one. There. Let's see if we can get this guy off. Come on. We'll try it. We'll see how it goes, my friends. Alright, Ferenchi. I will keep. We'll keep that. should just be shuffling that to the bottom so you guys can see Fable, but that's okay. Let's see if we can get Maze Mine down. Alright, now I can start looking. We'll keep that. Frenchie. What are we gonna do, my friend? Ooh. Double red. Double red. Uh-oh. Timing out, my friend. Alright. So we apply that. It will go thin. Now we want to keep Maze Mine on the board too, so we can get to that banish card. So we'll see. Poor Frenchie here is having some connection issues. Uh-oh. Now we're going to start moving. We'll probably need to stay one over so we can get that mystical dispute too. I'll go full control just so that we can look at the top. Maybe in the next card. Well, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. So that's good for us. Now we can put this down. Now we can see if that gets enabled too. Faceless. Lock there. Another way to enable, by the way. Oh, wait. Ooh. Let's get it. Come on. We can do it. We'll try it. We'll see if we can get away with it. Oh, here we go. Yes. It's gotta live. I will force banish into Fable if I can. Awesome. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's swing in. Ooh, come on. Ooh. Before they cast that, they have to have a hard counter. Let's try it. Ooh, they gotta counter each of the copies. There we go. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh. So it's got a couple things there. You get to dodge some counters, which is nice. Yes, we did it. We showed it, my friends, and we pulled it off. And we did it against a tempo deck, which is big. So even though you could counter, you got a lot to counter there. So that's really nice. That's going to be like a whirlwind denial half the time, I think. Maybe not. I think that's the only counters one. But look at that. Great play today. Let's go back and talk about this deck. Mythic Matt's number 5. Azorius Fable deck with this bad guy right there. I'm glad we stuck through it. We did it. We made it work. it's like the game rule of 5. You got to play 5 games just to cast the card. We ran this the other day with the historic deck on Coco. So keep that in mind, my friends. You must play 5 games to play the card that you want to play. But all fun and jokes aside there with the 5. Super fun deck, my friends. Really like this one. It's got some decent legs. Plays well against aggro decks. We saw that against mono red. It's got a lot of options there. Certainly we got to hit them, yes, but it does have some legs to it. Probably a short version in there somewhere without Yorion, to be honest. Be a nice best of 1, even potentially a strong best of 3 deck, but this is what we have today for our top 5. So in terms of best of 1, we went 1 and 2, not as successful. And then best 3, we did go 2 and 0. We beat a mono red aggro and we beat an Izzet tempo deck. So very, very fun there. Honestly, I really like this deck, and I've been saying that there's probably a spot for this. Best of 1, it's probably more in the middle still. It's just this one's not as consistent. Certainly if you get to the top end, you're gonna kill it. Certainly if you get Doomscar in your opening hand, you're gonna be fine. There's a lot of things that you got to play around, and aggro still can pound right through that pretty quickly. So just keep those things in mind, but I do like this. I would say probably somewhere, like I said, middle tier 2. And then for best of 3, we'll see how this plays out over time. I know Mythic Matt's had a great run with this deck. I think like 11 and 0 or something crazy like that, which is really, really nice and commendable. We'll keep an eye on this. I think it might be close to the top of tier 2. Certainly borderline tier 1, but we'll see as things can continue to play out. Again, I've been a big fan of this. I thought there was a good spot in the meta. This bouncing banish into the Fable is pretty awesome. It gets around a lot of stuff. We did only get to see it once though, but there's certainly some nice legs. I'm a huge fan of Arcane of Sun's Grace and the enchantment archetype, and this is a good way to do it, my friends. So with that, Planeswalkers, if you have questions or comments, please let me know down below. I'm happy to help. Feel free to hop in the Discord server. That's in the details. And then lastly here, truly appreciate your support. Always, please feel free to subscribe down over there as a small call to action. You guys can also like the video. I always appreciate getting that feedback from you too. And then also other great ways to support the channel down below in the details, like becoming a patron or YouTube member. Great ways for us to interact. And I always appreciate that as well, my friends. So with that, you take care, you stay safe. We'll see you again soon. We got a lot of things coming your way. Getting ready for our weekly meta video as always, so stay tuned for that. And also had a lot of blast doing Twitch the other day for a nice community event, and so stay tuned for that. We played all those subscribers and supporters, so feel free to check those out. It's streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays right now as well, my friends, roughly 8 to 10 Central. So with that, again, Planeswalkers, take care. We'll see you soon. Mythras out. Until next time, we got a lot coming your way.